Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Berger, and I'm the VP of Global Sales at Front. A decade ago, I was actually pursuing my dream of professional baseball, but that ended after a few years of struggling in the minor leagues with a few metal splinters in my butt. So here I am selling software. And if you're not familiar with baseball, let me tell you this. Baseball has been completely transformed in the past 2 decades with analytics. We've actually seen some traditional bottom dweller teams leverage things like sabermetrics and then other type of analytical tools to become powerhouses that consistently win. Think of the Cubs, the Houston Astros, the Washington Nationals, teams like that. The baseball world went from flying blind to be able to optimize rosters and really set their team to defense on a pitch by pitch basis. This has completely changed the game using data-driven insights. I share this little anecdote with you all because I'd imagine you all take pride in running optimized organizations. Now, if I switch over to the business world, what if you could be twice as productive as your competitors? In theory, you could close twice as much, right? Bring in as much revenue and loan originations from your business. Well, what if you could be 4 times as productive? Maybe if you could close twice as much in half the time. What if you could have 1,200% more productivity than an average in the mortgage industry? Well, then you'd be better.com. 1,200% sounds pretty crazy, but it's actually true. And the effects of that incredible amount of productivity is a whole lot of impact. This year, better.com has 50 loan officers in the top 500 of the Scotsman Guide and 1 in the top 10. Now, some would say that's a ton of commissions to pay out, except Better, they famously don't use a commission system. So how do they actually do this? I recently had a chance to sit down with Better's VP of Sales, Sarah Pierce, and she gave all the credit to their mission-driven ethos and their innovative technology platform. I'm excited to take you behind the curtain and show you some of that technology. And I'm really excited to be here with Tony Pitkin, an implementation engineer here at Front. Hey, Tony.
Hey.
He works closely with Better and knows their technology intimately. So I appreciate Tony being on the line with us, and we're going to really dig into their use case. And maybe we can start off with what was their strategic problem that Better.com was trying to solve with Front?
It's really interesting. Better provides a 24/7 fully online experience to mortgage services customers. They do this with an extremely collaborative team-based approach to selling and processing with specialized points of contact across the buyer's journey. Most mortgage seekers, however, are looking for a more personal, high-touch experience. They're used to working with one person from end to end. They want to be in touch over text, chat, email, and they also usually want to call late at night or on the weekends. So Better needed to provide that same level of attention of an individual loan officer, but on a scalable team-based approach. One more thing, when mortgage rates hit record lows this year, Better saw a 200% increase in demand for refinancing. Obviously, with the pandemic, they were transitioning to fully remote at the same time. You can imagine the chaos. They had to find a way to handle that demand and maintain their collaborative model, all while trying to figure out how you were supposed to work from home.
So how about we dive into actually the technology and see how Better is meeting those existential threats, but also the challenges today to be more productive. Let's dive right in, huh?
Yeah, so happy to show Better's shared inboxes mirror their team structure. From pre-approval to servicing, each customer goes through 6 handoffs. Each customer email or chat gets triaged to the right team's shared inbox in Front. From there, they assign owners, move the email to another shared inbox, use discussions to have a quick chat about what they'd like to do next, and collaborate in real time on that response. When the customer moves from, say, initial processing to conditional approval, the processing expert can access and review all of the previous interactions with the client directly in Front.
Got it. So what about different channels? I mean, actually, I was texting with my loan broker. I was emailing my loan broker's team. So how do they handle that?
Yeah, so similar to, I think, your example, you clearly are an example of the customer who wants options when it comes to how they're going to communicate with their loan officers and their team. So the beauty of Front is that you actually get to leverage all of those different channels inside the platform. Web chat, email, text, you name it, they all route into Front and are all managed with the exact same workflows.
Got it. Makes a lot of sense. So when I talked to Sarah, she mentioned that the team-based approach allows Better to get a lot more out of their unlicensed staff. Can you like walk me through that concept?
Yeah, so unlicensed team members can draft a reply on behalf of the licensed loan consultant who has the sole ability to review and send inside Front. This amplifies the value of that license and lets Better.com's unlicensed staff contribute more and more than they could otherwise. Licenses are required to participate in the loan conversations, but unlicensed team members can start a draft that the licensed loan officer can actually review and send. This helps give the customer consistent points of contact throughout the process, but also helps them get that personal customer experience at every step of the journey, all through collaboration.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. So most mortgage companies rely on templatized emails in some form factor. My inbox is cluttered with a ton of boilerplate text. Can you walk us through some of Better.com's canned responses, like that templatized text through Front?
Yeah, so response time is mission critical when it comes to making sure that the customer has a good experience. And canned responses have helped Better answer quickly and accurately to those questions, still all while preserving that personal touch. Canned responses can be set up automatically, but they're also customizable in Front. So Better actually automatically inserts things like names, titles, maybe city, and other dynamic fields like that to keep it personal. They also can go in and add manually personal touch or unique copy on top of whatever that canned response contains.
Great. That's pretty great. So how about we finish up with some analytics? We mentioned that Better.com's loan officers are a record eye-popping 1,200% more productive than the industry average. So they obviously put a lot of that effort into using data to benchmark, improve performance, et cetera. So Front analytics are a huge part of that. Can you share with us a little bit of like how that comes to life?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take it one step further. It's one thing to know your process is working, but it's definitely another to prove it's working to leadership. I'm sure you know that in your position. So for example, Better was having a lot of success interacting with clients through live chat on their website. But what was the actual ROI of that program apart from the anecdotes from customers that really like it? In Front Analytics, they were able to look at that growth in live chat usage, response time in that channel, and a lot more, all directly inside of Front through analytics.
Wow. So it sounds like that Better is really taking advantage of the entire platform of Front, whether it's canned responses, automated rules, analytics, to make an impact for their business, which in turn makes an impact for the customers and their customers.